when the specialist of the strange meets the age of darkness. Eyes in the skies will stare upon the glimmers of their scalps. And ponder the insanity that comes from their adventure. Welcome to the Bald and Bonkers.
Oh, that's an awesome trailer. That I must say, I love watching that trailer every time. But listen, guys, before we start, I'd just like to say, could you please share this video out? And if you're new, give us a subscribe. So, Dakota, Sherry, how are you all tonight?
I'm very, very good, thank you, Chris, for asking. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. What's that question mark in the top corner there, Dakota? The one with the little red warning light. What is it? It's like a wee blue thing. I'm watching actually on my phone on D-Live. We're through D-Live today, so let's see what happens, you know. Who's in the chat? Let's see what the Scottish Outlook. There's somebody called Paranormal World Investigators. I wonder who that could be. Who else we got? Dobbies. Yeah, Bald and Bonkers. There you go. So guys, we'll let this fill up for a couple of minutes. We'll just talk a little bit until it starts.
Come on, guys, share out.
And then we're going to show you some footage that we've got, and we're going to do CE5, and hopefully Sherry will not get abducted tonight.
Hopefully Sherry will get abducted. Thank you.
You don't know, they might be up there in their big spaceship, you know, getting ready, you know.
Yeah,
so Dakota,
I've got lots in store for me.
What are you doing, Dakota?
What am I? What do you mean? Why am I always
gotta be there? He's sitting there with his poses like, I want $1 million. I think I've went mad. I honestly do think I've went mad. I woke up this morning feeling really happy. I don't know why, right? And ever since then, I think I've just went mad.
I don't know if it's to do with these ETs and things like that. I've been having peculiar, weird, like behavioural, weird ways. I don't know.
Aye, but it's quite interesting. The drawings that you showed us, actually, the ones with the ships there, that's actually really, really interesting. You know? And if you're new, guys, do you like my background? Say in the chat, guys, what do you think of my background? You don't need to look at a door any longer. You know? What's that Dobby sock? I'm saying nothing.
I said nothing.
So share this video out. Share it with everybody. Share it with everybody, you know? And if you don't, the aliens are watching you.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, it's been crazy in ways that I
Look at the K2. Look at the K2.
Do you think I should show this? I should show this. So, I think there is one thing we should address before we get into the footage.
Yeah.
On last episode, we had Christine Gomez come on to talk about some of her experience when it comes to the UFO phenomenon. And one of our dear friends, who was a previous guest on the show, Brian G. Laverty, went to go share it out. And he got this message on Facebook.
I know. Absolute fuss.
He literally just gave me permission to show it off. I was just like, what?
I know. He put 4 emojis of aliens, and he got this from Facebook. Now, bear this in mind, on Facebook you can watch ISIS beheading videos, but you can't put an emoji of an alien.
I don't know if it's because he just put so many up, but I found that a little funny.
I think Madness.
That's really strange that he's got that, because I've been getting the same thing when I've been posting stuff up about like the UFOs and stuff like that. I get this thing, you're going against your community guidelines, and I'm like, just ignore it. And like,
That kind of reminds me. There's this whole discussion actually going on about censorship on UFOs getting ready to kick back up.
Yeah.
Like they're going to start trying to ban it from the news and all this stuff. It's like, really?
yeah, but why? It's
why?
fact and it's real life and it's happening. Why would you ban it? You know what I mean? It's part of all of
Losing
us.
control. It's all out of control, and they're starting to lose control now.
It's like they're starting to lose faith in this whole narrative that they're trying to push, that all these aliens are out to get us.
Yeah,
It's like,
but they're
Yeah.
not.
no,
They're losing faith on their plans.
It's
that's what you get when you try to follow the plans of a Nazi.
Yep.
Yeah, and things that are not true. You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect? It ain't going to stay hidden. You know what I mean? It's going to come out in the end.
It's going to come out in the end. I do think the UFO community. I think there's got to be a big reveal next year. I think there's got to be something.
I do think that there is something going to happen.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's NASA. We'll talk about NASA, the mad people that I like to call. They keep putting out narratives to know that they're just about to find proof of life. I think they found it a long time ago, and they've just kept it covered up.
Yeah, and now because people are actually researching and finding out, they've got nothing to hide behind anymore now, have they? So,
yeah. Did you see that article about Mars the other day? I don't know if you can find it, Dakota. It's the rover sitting on the planet, and it's looking up, and there's a wee thing moving through the sky.
Oh, there's lots of Mars footage like that. There's also another one that's floating around about the Chinese rover that's on the moon, all of a sudden going to examine this large cube structure that's on the horizon in the photo. It's like, if anybody's going to try to blow the whistle on this, to try to claim credit, it's going to be the Chinese.
But the Chinese, but you know what the Chinese are like? They'll probably be at that right now with a rover, poking at it, trying to figure out what it is, if it's worth any money.
Well,
back
that is
engineering
all it is.
Yeah.
The announcement of life on other planets would be one of the biggest scientific discoveries ever. That we are not alone in the universe. So, that instantly gives them more political power. And that's
it does, but the thing is we know that there is other life on other planets. Like, some of us do actually have communication with them, and
it's like saying that for the people in the chat that don't realise this, that if you to take every sand particle on the planet, right, every sand particle, there is more galaxies than every sand particle on the planet.
Exactly, like the galaxies. Go on, Dakota.
No, I was just going to say, and that's just in the part of the universe we can actually see.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say myself, like, similar. I was just going to say, like, we only see the planets they give us. There are so many other ones out there that are not named or not known. And, you know.
Yeah, but there's a bit that's all starting to float around. I haven't had a chance to really look into where they're saying that there's at least 4 planets that are reachable by us with the technology we have now. And they flat out and joked around saying that we now have the technology to take ET home. We have at least 4 planets in our reach that would be fully comfortable, fully suited to sustain life as it is here on Earth.
But when you think about it, you think about the secret technology that the government's got. They're probably there already, colonising it. Yeah, you heard about the secret space program, the breakaway secret space program. They could be watching us. How do we not know some of these aliens, right, that are watching us are just us? Because I don't think we come to Earth. I think we came here a long time ago. Somehow, I don't know. But I think there's
aliens from Mars come in as our saviours to save us from our government's mandates and great deception.
Yeah. He knows his stuff, by the way, that guy, that James Ramsey. He actually knows quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's... They're talking about this fake alien invasion and that, but could it be? Is that what's coming? I mean, the world is going mad. I mean, just with that last post on Facebook, I mean, that's just taking the piss. I mean, what's next? They got to ban you for putting a smiley face?
Probably.
It's getting ridiculous, and it's like Dobby said in the room. Facebook have their own rules. It isn't the rules of anybody else. They seem to just be putting their own things in there.
Oh,
like
yeah.
nobody's going to be able to post anything about UFOs, paranormal, or anything by the time they're finished.
To be purely honest with you, Facebook's on the road out. They've changed its name to try and rebrand it. I think to try and revitalise it, but
Yeah, I find it awfully funny that they decided to do that right as someone from their inside come out and fully admitted that Facebook is poking the fires at everybody fighting at each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of the experts out there on human psychology as well as cyber initiatives have actually said this whole metaverse idea they're trying to preach, they're trying to put out, is actually going to make things a hell of a lot worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was actually reports. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to name what it was, but there was a certain campaign in America between presidents, and they were actually pushing fake news. They were pushing it, and it wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. This is going out on Facebook, so I bet you they take it down or something.
Yeah, that brings me to another point. And I'm going to be careful with my wording here, but with the current situation that we are facing in the world that looks like it's about to get worse again,
Yeah.
what exactly did they think happens when they were so sloppy about spreading false information through the media? When they were so sloppy about it, even the dumbest of people I know could see through it. They was like, wait a second, that don't matter. What do they expect when they're trying to push all these solutions to a current problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
To be honest with the thing what's happening now, and I'm not going to mention it. Pardon me. I think it's all programming. That's all I think it is. It's programming.
I don't think much.
I think that's all it is. It's programming, and it's getting the good little sheep to do the good little sheep. You know, you must do this. You must do that. That is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. It's programming. The CIA used to do it in the 70s and 80s. They had ways of like manipulating the population. This is just manipulating the population on a grand scale.
That's the thing. Here's an example for people to really understand just how easy it is to use media. Let's say like product placement stuff. Here's one example. Guardians of the Galaxy, where main character Peter Quill listens to music on an old Walkman. After that movie came out, and there was also the Microsoft Zoom towards the end of the movie. After that movie came out, Microsoft saw sales for the Zoom, their version of the iPod, absolutely skyrocket.
Yeah.
Just because people saw it in a more. That's how easy it is.
Yeah. It's like, what's that? Dobby Sock, MKU, more, what's that? More mind control. They really, went to town on their subjects. Of course they did.
Yeah, it was absolutely diabolical, some of the things they would do to people.
It's frightening, and to this day, there'll be stuff that they did to people that's covered up and buried, literally buried. Because that's what they did with these special places. They just buried the bunker.
Oh, they buried the bunkers. They burned the papers. And the second they realized that information was about to get leaked and the authorities were closing in on what they were doing, they set everything on fire.
Yes, of course they did. It's like the UFO stuff. I mean, we've got one-sided things. I mean, the government, they put it out in the mainstream media. They do all this thing about releasing UFOs, and then they try and clamp down that again. It's weird. It's as if somebody were having a losing battle. That's what it's like. It's like there's some people in government that are trying to release this, right? And then there's obviously the other ones that are still in power that just want to close it up because they know if this all gets out, everything's over for them. They're going to lose
Yeah.
lose power. If aliens landed tomorrow and says, listen, we're here, we're going to cure cancer, we're going to give you a clean power source, and we're going to sort the environment, all these trillionaires and billionaires would be out of pocket like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all about money, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Money and control. They don't want you to have your own mind. They don't want you to have your own beliefs. They want you to follow their way, when luckily some of us are open enough to realise that a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know.
So guys, we've got to show you some footage tonight that we got from a friend through a UFO site, and I think you'll find this really interesting actually, because Dakota's worked his magic, but we're also going to be doing the CE5. Dakota, would you like to tell a bit about the CE5?
All right. For those of you who haven't been following us, or those who may be completely new to the project, CE5 is short for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. There's a set of protocols. There's an app you can get on your phone, available for both Android and Apple devices. It's only $10, but $10 so you don't have to have ads every 5 seconds. I think it's worth it. It's basically a set of tones that have actually been collected from alleged crop circles. There was also some from Mount Shasta, which is a huge site for paranormal activity. I think Jeff Goldblum actually just did a Bigfoot special on it that way.
I think they did.
And basically, they say if you follow these protocols, keep yourself open to potentially meeting and communicating with these beings like you would meeting someone from another country. I emphasize that. Basically, don't be a dick.
Yeah. Not if you don't want to get sacked.
And UFOs will come out. Now, this woman that contacted us, she sent us a video where she actually was trying out these protocols, then realized she caught something on camera. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let's see, what was it? Out of Canada, wasn't it?
I think it's Canada, yeah. I think it's east coast of Canada, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play the original footage, completely unedited. It was shot in portrait mode on the phone, so if you see it come up a little funny or completely broadcast cherry, we're not doing that on purpose. So, here we go.
Let's go.
I thought this was actually supposed to mute us. Never mind.
There's actually, I think there's more than one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. So another one's trying to come through. But now, for those of you watching the video version of this podcast, we may actually have to upload it onto our channel so you can get a better look. Because I know the quality, how this comes across, may not always be the best. So it's... You doing all right there, Sherry?
Yeah, my guy just like pushing me out the way to have a look at it. It's like, okay, thanks, all right, go ahead with it.
Well, if that's the case, I may need to bring on some of the footage I've collected. But anyway, so yeah, it was kind of quiet. So what I did is I tried to do a little bit of lighting enhancement as well as use artificial intelligence to upscale it, make the quality a little better, as well as enhance the noise. So for those of you who listen to this on the podcast, really do get to our YouTube channel. There's a lot more you will get to see.
Yeah.
But for those of you who have headphones, you may want to listen closely.
Pop them on. I will say this. She did have wildlife. I will have to say that for the people with the headphones on. She did have some wildlife in the
I was
background,
about to
but
say that sounded
Yeah, I
like some
thought I could hear a
bullfrog.
bird or
it was
something. I was
bullfrogs.
just like, is that a bird or is that some weird noise coming through?
But
It's
if
like,
you
you know,
listen,
Shane's talking about, getting pushed aside. I swear I've seen her shirt act like there's somebody's hand just pushing
Yeah,
it on her.
it's pushing me like further
It's
over,
like I
like
could
so
actually
bloody
see.
looks like move out
yes,
the
I
way,
see that.
woman. I
It's
want
a
to be the
shut up,
centre
right?
of
I
attention.
was
Get
like,
out the way.
whoa.
It's it's no that. It's I can hear the tones very faintly in that.
It's faint. The thing is about the what it sounded like to me the bullfrogs is that it overtakes it so much that more enhancements would just make it harder to almost
Yeah,
drown out the tones. And here's a little comment though. I think we should probably address.
yeah. It's this. You know the story about the vampire. You have to invite them. You have no idea who you're trying to contact.
Yeah.
Dakota, when you
Now,
go.
it's not the first time we've had someone try to address the concern. Because yes, there is an open invitation for contact, but it's not always because there's something trying to catch your attention to lure you in. Sometimes these things just have better manners than most humans.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
It's not
Apart
always
from when they're
evil.
trying to watch a video and don't want you as centre of attention, and they push you out the way. But apart from
I
that, they're
don't.
brilliant.
I don't know what it is, by the way, but next to Sherry, I don't know what it was. It was weird. It was like something was there, but it wasn't there. It was like wee twinkles of light. It's like as if it's like a
Yeah, no,
cloaking
that's
ability.
him letting that off. It's like when you was talking just a minute ago and you were saying about you can slightly hear the tones. He was like, you can hear the tones everywhere if you listen. It's everywhere. So,
Yeah,
Because they are everywhere.
and he's not lying. You can. I even just walking down the shop the other day, I could hear them tones, even though I've not got them on or anything. I could hear it. It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, you got to listen though.
see the UFO footage, the first one, the unedited version. It's that's no a drone because drone lights flash all the time. Everybody kens that. It's no a plane and it's no a helicopter. And the reason being, it's moving too quick. Because half a second it's there, then it's there, then it's there, then it's there, then it's there. I think there was maybe more. I think there was maybe 3 or 4 of them. They were moving too quick between each other.
Well, I don't get the idea that she has the phone on any sort of stand. So
No,
the
she's
motion,
moving it.
the motion of the camera shows that she's shaking it. It's like she's
Yeah.
seeing something. Unfortunately, from an investigator's point of view, yes, there's not a lot to go on. In the middle of the dark, and there's all of a sudden a bright light in the distance. The one thing
Yeah.
that we can secure that it wasn't any helicopters or planes. Like say Adventures with Beth here says, if something was catching their attention or if it
That's
was anything
right.
noisy like that, you would not hear the bullfrogs.
But she
No.
played the CE5. She was doing the meditating thing, but I don't know how MD could meditate with all the frogs making a noise. That would drive me mad.
I don't know. It depends on where you grow up, I suppose.
I suppose you just get used to it over the years. But it's. I don't know. There's something. I think there was more than one, whatever it was. What's that? There's nothing.
Another
new
thing as
under
well,
the
when
sun.
they're like helicopters and planes and stuff, you've got a continuous coloured of lights. There wasn't a continuous coloured of different lights going on there. It was just one. It was one colour, and it seemed like it was moving around the object, not across it. It's like
Well,
it was going round.
I live
But
in the
as
flight
Dakota
path.
said, the footage was not that great, so you can't really
Aye.
tell a lot.
I live
Right.
in the flight path. I live in the flight path to Glasgow Airport. Right, and I get private jets going over me. I get the 747s going over me. The new Airbus going over me. I get helicopters going over me.
Yeah,
They did. Every plane I've ever seen has had, was it green, white, and red. They've
yeah,
got to have
same
that.
as the helicopters. The helicopters
Yeah.
do as well, and there's always some sort of noise with them as well. You will always hear the helicopters. You will always hear the aeroplanes, no matter how far up they are. You can
Yeah.
hear something. You know what I mean? You can't hear anything in that apart from a bird or whatever it was twerting or
I
doing what it
think,
was doing.
yeah, I think she got something, but I think it's still unexplained. I think I think a wee investigation, if you're watching this, go back and do it again and see if you can get a different location. It's winter time now, so I don't know if bullfrogs still come out in the winter.
Yeah, and like maybe zoom
Aye.
in as well slightly, so you're a little bit closer to the object. And
There's James Ramsey. What's that? TBR3s, but the TBR3s are the UK, the US military.
TR3S. Yeah, and it's not like countries haven't exactly shared technology with one another.
Yeah.
I was like I said, it's not the best of footage, but all we can say at the end of the day, there is something there that might warrant a little bit further looking into.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's think of the amount of UFO sightings that's went up in the last 2 months. I mean, it's getting ridiculous now. Everybody is seeing stuff, and but as we were saying, they're trying to close down the media on this. I think that's why they're doing this, closing it down.
I think the reason there's been so much more like sightings and stuff, because if you think about it, before 2 years ago when everything happened, all the disasters and whatever else, we're not going to go into much detail about that, but when that happened, people weren't going to work, people weren't doing everyday things that consume their minds. Okay, they had more time to sit at home, they had more time to take notice of things going on outside. That's why there is so much more sightings. And even though we're going back to some normality, people
Yeah.
have remembered what they've seen, so now they are going out there on purpose to see if they can see anything, because they've realized through that time that there are other things out there that they wouldn't have
Yeah.
noticed when they were so busy, or and things, they've had that time to be able to open up, in my opinion.
It's quite interesting because in the last few nights here in Scotland, it's been clear nights, and where I stay, there's not much light pollution. And when I stand in my back garden, I can see the Milky Way, because obviously there's
Yeah.
no Milky. And but you know what I have seen a lot of is that new Starlink satellites.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell them that's that because they've got lines, and you'll see them going through the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the International Space Station a couple of times in the last maybe 2 years, but I think some things can be mistaken for. I mean, I seen something the other day. It was during the day. I was sitting in the car park. It was getting dark, and I could see this silver thing. It was beautiful. It was just moving through the sky. There was no flashing lights, nothing. But then, when I went round the corner, I drove round the corner, I could see the one side. It was a plane, and it was the light was hitting off the side of the light was hitting off the side of the metal, and it made it look like just one white dot moving.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. It was a plane getting into land at Edinburgh Airport.
I had a really strange thing the other day. I had one, like, my friend was standing with me. She'd bought me one of my drinks that I wanted from the shop round, and we're standing outside, and I'm talking to her, and I happened to look up in the sky. I'd been playing the tones just before, and I
Yeah.
was looking up, and there was something in front of the moon. And she don't like, she's really funny about all this stuff. And then she turned around and she looked, I said, oh my God, look at that. And she's going, oh, it's an aeroplane. It's an aeroplane. I said, end, look at the lights and that going round it, not over it. And she was looking, and we see it moving really quickly past the moon, and it goes into this cloud, and then it weren't there no more. We looked everywhere across the sky. We were looking everywhere to see if it had come
See-
out somewhere else. It wasn't there anymore. She was like, what did I just see? I
See,
said, I
I've
think
seen.
you might have seen a UFO.
Yeah. I seen something one day, and to this day I still can't fathom it. I was out a walk in the hills, and it was blue skies, and there was one cloud, right? You know how you get one cloud, right?
Yeah.
And I looked up, and there was like a 747 with the 4 engines, and it was like flying. It didn't have any chemtrails. It didn't have any of them. For some weird reason, it didn't have any of them, which I found a bit odd, because the audio when they're high up, it went into the cloud, and it never came out the other side.
Yeah, and that's what we happened here with this one. Like, we was just, I was looking and I see it going across the moon bit, and she was looking. She was like, "That's an aeroplane to the end. Look at the lights." She goes, "Oh." She goes, "Oh, it's flashing a green light." I was like, "Yeah, where did no aeroplane flashes a green light or anything like that?" And it was going round continuously, white and green light. And then we see it going into the cloud, and we was looking, and she was looking, because she's really skeptic about that. She knows like about spirit, but aliens and that, she's a bit weird. She's like, it ain't come out. Where's it gone? I was like, you've possibly just seen your first UFO.
UFO.
He's like, oh my God, they're real. I was like, yes, they're real, babe. Like,
See, that's Dakota. Have you ever seen anything like that? What's the best UFO you've ever seen, Dakota?
There was one. Now, mind you, I was in Nevada. It was 4th of July. I'm just about 30, 40 minutes from the Nevada border. So anytime there's a special occasion, we'll head down that way to hit the casinos and have dinner and such. It was for 4th of July weekend. We went down there to watch fireworks. We found this nice open baseball field. Now, there's these mountains towards the right of me. Then all of a sudden, this bright light just comes out of the mountain and just stays there for like a few good minutes. The closer as more police and fire crews came about, because they're just getting ready to set the scene, because they always end up setting something on fire when they do those. As soon as the police started showing up, it slowly just draws itself back down into the mountain.
yeah, he didn't want to get seen.
What's that, James Ramsey? There's an excellent UFO story from Pembroke, Wales. It's on YouTube, worth a watch. Is that Pembroke Forest? Is that not Pembroke Forest? That's the one where the two soldiers touched it, the big black triangle. In the mid-80s, 90s. Or is that a different one?
If I'm not mistaken, I do know there's been a lot of activity out of Wales lately.
There's been a lot in Scotland, Did
Yeah.
you see that there's been fireballs? There's been a lot of fireballs seen. There was one over England, there was one over Scotland, there was one over New York, there was one over Washington. They're happening everywhere. I think there's something going on. I think that this situation we're in now, I think that's to turn a blind eye to something.
Mm-hmm. And Pembroke Forest, the one you're thinking of, is actually here in the States, Chris.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Because James Ramsey just said aye.
There might be more than one.
What's the famous forest in England where the UFO come down and the two guys touched it and they seen numbers? It was a military base. Was it? No, it was Rendiglum. It was Rendiglum. It was something R. It begins with. Was it Rendiglum Forest? It was something like that. It was something.
Like listening to Scatman John. I know the story you're talking about.
Yeah, you're just looking confused.
They were a couple soldiers. They saw some activity out in the forest, so they went to go investigate. They saw the craft. Then when they touched it, for some reason, they started getting visions of binary code.
Yeah.
We gotta do so. We gotta do another episode on that. So
yeah, I mean,
because they were able to actually translate it into a physical message, but I can't remember what it was. It's been a while since I looked into that one.
I tell you what, for everybody in the chat now, why don't we play some of the tones? Do you want me to play the first tone with the normal tones? And then we'll do the reverse tone, because we've tweaked a tone, Dakota's tweaked a tone. And tonight is the big night, hey Drew, tonight is the big night for the CE5. So there are probably people all over the world doing it right now.
I can play them right now if you wanted, regular.
Yeah, is this the reverse? Is this the reversed version?
It's literally, it takes a button click for the reverse, man. It's not that hard.
Right, we try the normal ones first, one normal one first, and then we'll reverse it and then send it back out again. Let's see if anything happens. I've got a feeling something is going to happen. Kind of gurgly there, didn't it?
What's wrong with the tones?
I don't know.
We've got to be playing them in reverse after this one. They sound different.
It's acting funny, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really distorted, like somebody's pushing it out.
You know?
And I've been noticing that the whole time on the stream, every now and again, you're glitching. Like, wow.
That's weird. That. Wait the new. I tell you what. Wait the new.
What is up with that?
I tell you what. Wait the new. I'll play the tones, and then you just play them in reverse. Right, with the new CA5 home screen. Library. Tones. Right, I'll play the crop circle ones first, right? And then you play it in reverse, right? You ready?
All right.
Right. That was the tones. One of the crop circle tones. Now Dakota's going to play it in reverse. Sherry, did you feel
Laser
anything?
in the sky is a good way to start getting arrested.
What's that?
Here's the thing that gets toted a lot with CE5. That's a good way to get your ass arrested. You can actually just be brought in for trying to bring down an airplane. That's the one thing I have an issue with all this.
Right. Did you feel anything there, Sherry? Is that Sherry we're tweaking to? Right, I tell you what, let's I'll fix you, Drew, in a wee while. It's just I think there's something wrong with the YouTube. It's acting weird if you're no blue. Play it in reverse, because I think it wants it played in reverse. Go for it.
Something just shut it down.
Is something shutting it down? It wants
Just
to be
lost.
played in reverse.
I just lost the tones.
What do you mean you've just lost the tones? You can't. How the hell do
It
you
just
lose
fucking
the
shut it down. The way I had it, they're gone.
But just bring them
And as
back
you were
up.
playing that, something. No, you're not listening. They're gone. Where I had it saved, it's gone.
How's that
And
possible?
as you were playing, that something was fucking up my signal.
That's the crop circle tones. Do you want me to try a different tone? I tell you what. Let's try, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try the Mount Shasta tones. Now I can hear voices in this. I don't know about you guys and girls, but was that Adventures with Bess? I had trouble breathing during the tones. That was weird. I thought I seen a wee ball of light was past me there. Right, with the Mount Shasta tones. I don't think they're on for long. If they're on for any longer than 10 minutes or so, I'll cut them halfway. Can any of you hear the voices? I can. Play 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes. At that end. You can clearly hear, I don't know if any of you in the chat's wearing headphones, but you can clearly hear, we come in peace, we come to free. What's the other one, Dakota? It's like, we do not mean no harm. Right, that's the Mount Shasta tones, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Dr. Stephen Gears, and then there's the frequency. So, how do you feel, Sherry? I'll turn this off now. Dakota, how do you feel? That's right, Stuart. Woman's vehicle. Dakota? See, I listen to the tones that much, guys. It doesn't really affect me anymore, but it's affecting they too. what he's feeling. Tell us what he's feel for the listeners.
There's someone else speaking right now.
Who? Is it our new friend? Sherry, ask its name.
What's your name?
Ask him if he will only show you his name or tell you his name. Ask him to show you a shape.
Can you show me your name? Show me your shape. I see circle.
Right. What else do you see in the circle?
Stars.
Right. Do you see anything around the circle? Did you hear
See a
that?
ray of light around the circle.
Did anybody in the chat wearing headphones hear that voice there? I would say,
I can see stars. There's one Pacific one in the middle that looks like a diamond shape. There's stars around it. Can you tell me your name?
who pinged the chat? What happened to Drew?
Martia.
Look into that while I'm gonna put. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Shh.
Who?
See in the room.
What happened to Drew? Drew, if you can hear me, I've modded you. We didn't do that to you.
Yeah.
That's strange. Drew, if you're watching, I'll contact you after. But you added you as a moderator. You should be able to talk.
Not involved. She's not to be involved.
Oh dear.
That's what I thought.
What's that, Sherry? Who's not to be involved?
One in the room.
That's so strange. Why is she not to be involved? May I ask?
Not yet.
No yet?
She's far from
Help
ready.
her. Sherry can help. Cherion can help. Eyes.
That's strange. What was it? Was it one of yous that removed her from the chat? It was, wasn't it?
Safety.
She is not ready for what we are embarking.
She's messaged me back, but I'm going to tell you until after the show, okay?
Dakota. And Sherry has quests. So do you, Chris.
Well, I know that. A cheap mobile network.
Secret. Symbols shall be shown to you tonight. Take notice.
If anybody else in the chat feels anything, please tell.
I think specific ones strong enough will feel.
It's quite weird because I went into chat and I checked the chat records for. I went on my phone. Nobody dropped it. Shit, nobody in this room or on here. Not one of us. Or,
Shh. We do it for her safety.
okay. She's back in, but don't say anything, Drew. Just go with it.
Sherry will help.
Sure, you'll see what little body should listen to.
She's a guide. Child of the stars. Do you feel him there, Dakota?
Yes.
The higher power is with you.
We have been acquainted.
Chosen. Children of the stars.
It's strange that.
You already know.
We mean no harm. We
I
did not mean to upset. We are protective.
Can I ask you something? What star system do you come from?
Galaxy 8, sir.
Interesting.
New planet. You do not know. But you will understand tonight when you see new symbol.
Already, you are misunderstanding what we are.
Stuart McDonald, Illuminati. The Illuminati are no in here. You can guarantee they're Stuart.
We are not them.
They are nothing to do with us.
We are what they wish to be.
See, guys, you're always in for a treat on this show.
When Drew opens, she will understand.
Yes, after the
You do not
live,
order us.
after the live, guys, we'll get her in and talk out to why that happened. I don't understand it. It's
Is
clever.
friend. We shall be part, but not yet. She needs to be guided. She is closed. She needs to open. She is in danger at the moment because she is intrigued. We need to protect our own.
So long as she fears, she will always be closed.
She should be contempt and understand that all worlds are one. Once she understands that, we shall open to her.
It's alright, guys. In the chat, I've already contacted Drew through Messenger. I've spoke to her. It's fine.
We can affect anything without touching.
I can understand what you are saying about Drew. I'll explain to her after what you mean. It's been a very interesting show tonight, hasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? You okay, Dakota? I think they're coming out it now, guys. You alright, Sherry?
See you soon.
See, it's just
Right.
you were away there, Sherry. You were away along with Dakota. I don't know if Dakota's back yet. Are you back yet, Dakota? Can you remember any of that, Sherry?
I know that they weren't comfortable with
The
Drew's problems.
removed.
They can sense that Drew needs to open more. And
removed
because
Drew
of
from the chat.
something that's supposed to be going on, they somehow blocked her or removed her from the chat without even touching anything.
That was weird, that, because they removed her
They
for
didn't
the.
have to touch.
I mean, I actually had to go physically back in and add her back to the stream. I just went back in and added her, and she lost her wee spanner and everything. I was just, I don't know how that's possible. But I've added her back in now. But she messaged me actually. But
There is nothing meant badly in it, Drew, sis. It's they want you to train more. They want you to be more open to those ways. There is a place and somewhere there for you, but you've got to be able to come to terms and understand that they're not enemy and you've not got to fear them. And because of you being in between following them and not following them, you're very open to any problems that may occur. You may get the wrong attention from the wrong thing, and that's why they done that. So they blocked you in that way. They're not doing it to be horrible to you.
Because
They're
it
doing it
wasn't
to
like...
protect you.
I could feel something, I don't know what it was, but when Drew was talking away and you were getting into your trances,
I
I
was
don't know,
made
there
to
was
feel
just
rage
something...
towards you. Well, don't feel rage towards me, sis, because it wasn't me that done that. It was them. Nobody touched the chat room. Nobody blocked you out of the chat room. They
No.
done that. That wasn't
I've-
anybody in here. If they
I
feel
just don't know. I just don't
a
understand
threat
that.
or an isolation or something that is going to be of risk to any of you, they will do whatever to make sure that doesn't happen. That is what they're trying to do.
It's weird how she lost her spanner though, because, I mean, it's so strange that. But I heard a few voices through my earphones.
There is nothing meant bad in it, sweetheart. Do not take that the wrong way. They were just
Nah, Drew, it'll
protecting
be
you.
fine. It'll be fine, Drew. But I think we should end it actually now, and maybe because I knew something
They
you
want
guys didn't.
you to be involved, sis. They want you
Did
to,
they?
but they want you to be open. You're not ready and not open yet, so you
True.
could be put at danger. You need to be able to understand where they're coming from and things first.
In politer terms, the state you're at now, you're too thick-headed to really understand what's going on.
Yeah,
And I mean that
in
just-
a good way.
I'm just trying to be direct here.
Yeah.
That's
They gave you message. Go back over the thing. They were talking to you, Drew. They were saying they meant no harm to you. They were protecting you.
What I found funny was, as I went to unblock her and make her a mod with the laptop through this, and it wouldn't work. I had to get in through my iPhone side.
But the weird thing
Yeah.
is that she come in the room in the first place with no mod because she was blue.
Yeah.
That was random as well.
Yeah, that's very strange. Very strange. I'll talk to you after, Drew, through Messenger, but that's really weird. That
Maybe get her to come up on the panel thing with us, like off of here. Maybe like just have a word with her and that.
Aye. Do you want to end this now, Dakota? And we'll be back on Wednesday. And Drew, I'm going to send you a message to join us, okay?